I was yelling at him, drop the knife. I yelled it, I don't know how many times. I thought I was backpedaling that night.
You thought you were backpedaling as you're firing shot after shot after shot?
What I know now and what I thought at that time are two different things.
I don't think he's lying at all. I think it's exactly what he thought. It's exactly what he saw. He was absolutely fearful for his life. Do you know why? Because he's afraid of what he saw. So when you're afraid of something in a position like that, and you're like, my only recourse is to use this weapon that I have to stop my fears, because no one likes sitting there in fear, you know, and wondering what's going to happen to you. You're a police officer. Your job is to be in tense, fearful situations and to have your cool and chill out and do the things the right way. If you can't do it, don't do it. You know what I won't do? I would never be a police officer, because I don't want to be in those situations. So don't do it if you can't be in those situations. I think he really thought he was coming for him. You know, in 7-Eleven, I've said this many times, the convenience stores in 7-Eleven, you see that ticker on the side that says 5, 6, it's a foot apart each one. It goes from 4 foot to like 6 or 7 feet tall. Because when people walk into a place and they get robbed and somebody puts a gun in your face, you get scared and suddenly you think that person is huge and the strongest person you've ever seen. So when the police come and say, what did he look like? You go, man, he was 6'10", weighed 300 pounds because I was scared. And so the ticker lets you remember, if he walks in, at least it shows how tall he actually is, because people are afraid for their lives when something like that happens to them. Don't do the job if you're afraid of doing it. A fireman can't go to a house fire and say, hey, that kid's up there on the 2nd floor, but I'm afraid of what he looks like. Oh man, that fire's hot. I'm not going in there. No, that's your job. That's why we praise you. That's why we say, hey, fireman, you're the most brave, one of the brave people in our society. Hey, military guy, you go into the fight and there's bullets flying at you, but you keep going towards. That's why we say thank you for your service, because I wouldn't do that. So if a police officer sees someone that they're afraid of and they bow to their fears, you're not one of the better members of society anymore. I have no praise for you anymore. I don't say, hey, thank you for your service for being afraid of everything you see and shooting somebody in the face 16 times. What am I praising you for now? A fireman runs out of that building, has fire on his back, and is carrying 3 people out? Yeah, thank you, because I wouldn't have done that. You have to earn that respect. You don't get it just because you put on a uniform and start shooting people 16 times. That's not what the respect is for. It's not for a uniform, it's for what you do, and you didn't do it.